Kamala Harris sometimes is in the news, and I didn't want to start with this, but I had to start with this because she just talks out of her ass. It's word salad with this chick all the time, right? That's our vice president. She's one of the dumbest people on the planet. For real, I'm sorry. What she says half the time makes no sense. I'll give you an example. We're talking about our women's basketball. Women's basketball, by the way, is the hottest thing for sports altogether. You'd think that she would know maybe a little bit about women's basketball. Here's what Kamala Harris had to say.
Okay, a bit of a history lesson. Do you know that the women's teams were not allowed to have brackets until 2022? Think about that. And talk about progress, better late than never, but progress. And what that has done, because of course when, I had a bracket, it's not broken completely, but I won't talk about my bracket. But just how we love March Madness, and even just now allowing the women to have brackets and what that does to encourage people to talk more about.
She doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about.
Also, let's see how many times she says bracket after
that's the best when she does that. She gets a word in her head.
She finds one word
and
she keeps repeating it.
Hilarious.
Well, if you can't see it, you won't be.
Hey, Kamala, real quick, if you don't know what the F you're talking about, then maybe you shouldn't talk about it. You know what I mean? Just like everything else that comes out of your stupid mouth. Like, what do you think about that, Ray? Boys, what do you have? Is
ridiculous. She had no idea what she was talking about. You could even see it on her face. She was like, bracket sounds like a good word.
Yeah, I don't know. Just half the things she says all the time, it's just she finds that one word and then she just repeats herself over and over again. I mean, if you don't know anything about brackets, why would you bring it up? I don't know anything about how to make, a bun cake. Yeah. I'm not going to be like, bun cakes, and here's the thing is what you want to do is you want to get some sugar. And no, that's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, and the worst part is it's completely untrue.
Yeah.
Like, where have we seen this script before where they say this group of marginalized people have never been able to do something before, and then you call them on it and say, well, tell me an example of when they were not able to do that before. And it's just like, well, that's exactly what we just saw, because I'm sorry to tell you, but women's brackets have been a thing for many years.
I would say probably almost since day one, I would think, right?
I mean
2022 is where she starts claiming it started. That's fantastic.
Since the tournament started.
Good for her.
Malik, do you have any opinions on Kamala Harris bringing out her bracket, quote unquote?
Well, I didn't know that 2022 was the first year women got brackets. I mean,
that's where it all exceeded.
Groundbreaking. I missed that moment in history. Yeah. I wish I was there for it.
I don't know, man. It's just like, what's the point of saying stuff just to say stuff? You know what I mean? Because also, it's not like someone asked her about her bracket. She goes, also, just want to let you know for women's sports that
she thought she was just on fire, just rattling that off, just for no reason. She was like, let me talk about women's sports here and how it's excelling.
Yeah.
And it's excelling in 2022.
You know what's even funnier, too, is when people lie. Like, when people lie, she's like the best liar. Like, she commits so hard to lying, and the guy that's interviewing, he was probably like,
isn't that called a sociopath? Yeah. Like, when you believe it that hard?
Yes.
Like, that's your thing?
Yep.
Correct.
Isn't there a quote, I think it was an Abe Lincoln quote, that was like something along the lines of, it's better to be silent and thought a fool than to speak and be proven one, or something like that. Like,
you're bringing out Abraham Lincoln quotes.
Yeah, Abe Lincoln also said Kamala Harris is a dumbass too.
Abe Lincoln was talking about. Abe Lincoln was saying women's brackets are going to be a thing in 22, I think, too.
Oh, he did.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. I also there's going to be your vote's not going to count in 2024 as well. I heard that as well.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. We're going guns a blazing on this episode.